Hey everyone, welcome to the Gilbert.K Show, where today we have the incredible Julie Deffet, an award-winning filmmaker, producer, and mentor at the New York Film Academy. From her roots in Belgium to creating films that shine on international stages, Julie's journey is one you won't want to miss. Let's welcome Julie Deffet.
Hey, Julie, how are you today?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Um, Welcome to the show. And before we dive in, let's take a moment to watch a clip from one of your films. What are we going to see or listen
Sounds
to?
sounds great. We're gonna see The Breakup. A
Yeah,
clip from The Breakup is a short comedy that I co-directed with Nick Van Graham.
excellent. So let's watch it or listen to it.
Ellis, this isn't working out. And we're both just so busy, and it's such a burden seeing each other just once or twice a week. And even when we do see each other, I feel like, you're with me, but you're not actually with me. You're just so absorbed in your stuff. And I leave here sometimes and I just feel so neglected and drained. And I know that that's not how it's supposed to feel. So I don't know. I think we should break up for real this time.
And scene. Oh my God, that was beautiful. The way you just hung in there and delivered those lines, you completely took over the room. And that thing you added about whatever being neglected, that felt so real and raw.
Ellis, what the hell?
What? I thought it was great. No notes.
Those weren't lines. This isn't a scene. I am actually breaking up with you.
Okay, great. Could you start telling me a little bit about yourself and what sparked your interest in producing or acting?
I'm originally from Belgium. I moved to New York City 12 years ago to pursue filmmaking. Um, what my interest in film started when I was a child and then a teenager. And there's one particular film that made me want to work in the film business. It was a film by Robert Altman, so an American director, called Company. And I saw it at a theater in Liège, where I'm from. That had beautiful red curtains that would open and close, and it was a real cinema experience, and it was very special to me as a child. And I saw that film, and it was a mix of feelings, but as a teenager, I was confused to see how much I could relate to the characters and how real it felt, and I didn't know that cinema could be that. And yeah, it made me realize that you can really go deep and experience someone else's life through that medium. And it made me, and that's the day, I think I don't know, I think between 13 and 15. And not only I decided I wanted to work in film, but I wanted to be a director. So it's been a long journey.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So, what was one of your most memorable experience when you started out?
Oh, good question. So many experiences. I think, filmmaking is such a journey. Like, so much happened constantly.
Mhm.
If I have to pick one, when I made my first short film, so it's called A Little Sister, I had no money. I was in New York, trying to stay. So in order to stay in New York, I had to be established as a filmmaker as much as possible. And I wanted to make a short film with, again, no money. And I lived in Red Hook at the time, and I would go to every single restaurant. I needed a restaurant/bar location, and I
Mhm.
would go to every single restaurants and bars in the neighborhood and ask if I could shoot there for free. Now,
Yeah.
being a producer and much later in life, I realized how big of an ask that was. But at the
Yeah.
time, I was just young, and I just would ask everybody. And of course, most people said no. And one very nice lady was like, yeah, sure, why not? And it was a beautiful, actually, pizza place called Pizza Moto, I think it's called. Yeah, near Red Hook.
Yeah.
And she literally just gave me the keys and let me do whatever I wanted all evening,
Wow.
all night even. Like, and she told me just put the keys back in the mailbox. And I wish I would. Actually, I could. I should go back and thank
Oh my
her.
God.
Maybe. I don't know if she's still there, but that was like one of those moments where you finally catch a break, because in filmmaking, we rarely catch a break and it's very hard and you have to really, really believe in what you're trying to make. But
Mhm.
yeah, that was a beautiful moment where things just worked out.
Wow, that's amazing how she trusted you like that. That's
Yeah.
amazing. It happened to me too. I thought I was the only person. Somebody gave me their keys and they just left. Um, in a art gallery, they had like very expensive
Oh,
paintings, and then
wow.
they just gave me the for the whole weekend. And this
Oh,
lady,
wow.
she left. She said, "Okay, these are the keys," and then just put them like you, same kind of situation. Yeah, it's amazing how things happen.
It's great karma for them, and
Yeah,
I'm sure we pay back in other ways. So
of
yeah.
course. Yeah, that's great. So how would you describe yourself in 3 words?
um, 3 words. I would say ambitious,
Yeah,
adaptable, which I think for a filmmaker that's a good quality to have, as we know,
yeah,
and sensitive.
that's great. So what's one fact about you that most people might not know?
A fact about me people don't know. Good question. Uh, Something I'm thinking of right now, and a lot of people know because I'm pretty outspoken about it, but I was
Yeah,
very dyslexic as a kid, and or dysorthographic. I was having a really hard time with words, but
yeah,
also numbers. So it took me maybe a little bit longer than your usual, child to learn. And but I think it's part of, what makes me an artist now.
yeah. That's amazing. And what hobbies do you have? What do you do for fun other than filmmaking?
Okay, well, the biggest one, and I feel like all filmmakers should do that, is I go see movies at the theater. I just went last night. I saw a David Lynch film here at Syndicated. But also see, the new movies that come out. I see everything at the
Yeah,
theater,
yeah,
because that's important to me. And that takes a lot of my time.
of
Uh,
course.
I'm also just curious in general, I think, about art, and
Hmm.
I used to do a little bit of pottery. I want to go back to that. And then, the usual working out and trying to stay healthy.
Yeah, yeah,
Traveling. I travel a lot too, which is very
yeah.
important to me as well.
That's great. Um, so my next segment is a small game we play on the show. It's called This or That, and the
Okay.
theme is directing or producing. And in this fun game, I will give you 2 options, and you have to pick the one you like the most or the one that fits you better. There are
Okay.
no wrong answers, and if you don't need to explain your choice, you don't have to. It's all about quick, fun decisions to show us more about you, so for the audience to get to know you better. Are you ready, Julie?
I think so. Let's go. Why not?
Okay, let's do it, Julie. Wide shot or close up?
Close up.
Long take or quick cut?
Long take.
Natural light or studio lighting?
Natural light.
Handheld camera or Steadicam rig?
Steadicam.
Action scene or dialogue scene?
Dialogue scene.
Improvised lines or scripted dialogue?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I go back and forth, but I'll say improvised lines.
Single camera or multi-camera?
Single camera.
Silent film or sound design?
Sound design.
Practical effects or visual effects?
I'm going to say practical effects, even though I don't usually do that, but I would like to.
Yeah. Um, auteur vision or collaborative approach?
Auteur vision.
Okay, great. Um,
That was good. That wasn't so bad.
I know, that's amazing. That was quick. That's great. Let's move on to the next segment. Can you tell me a little bit about the journey or inspiration behind your project or work or any project?
I think the inspiration behind every project that I make is really about like trying to find a way to connect and to help show my vision of the world or my understanding of what it's like to be a human from either my personal experience or like what I see around me and what I hear from friends and family members and partners. And I think I like to try to put on screen an experience so that someone else can, for that few minutes or for that hour and a half, like they can experience something different in their lives and maybe understand the world from a different lens. And I think that's really the magic of cinema, and that's what's important to me. I was a very shy kid and very sensitive kid, and I think cinema was, my best friend, and how I learned how to be human, really. It was through cinema, and it was very important to me. So now I know the power that it has, and yeah, I want to be a part of that, and I want to make films that have an impact on other
Yeah,
people.
that's amazing. So, how did your experience shape your approach to directing and or producing or experiences?
Good question. Well, I think as humans, like we bring to anything that we do, we bring our past experiences. And I
Hmm.
think maybe my sensitivity helps me like talk to actors and maybe connect to them. And then it makes me, maybe I hope, helps me connect with them in a way that, because I experience myself some of those like self-doubt and sensitivity, if I want the characters to have to represent that, then I know how to express it or connect. And again, I think my love for cinema and my experience being a viewer first um, influences the kind of films that I'm making, and I'm just taking bits and pieces from all the filmmakers that really impacted me, like the Ken Loach, the Mike Lee, the very like I'm most interested. I love cinema in general, and I love entertainment, and I'll watch pretty much anything as long as it's good. But the films I'm trying to make personally are more what they call like social realism, like a little bit of a more
Mm.
like a European take on cinema. So I think my experience um, with these films, especially as a teenager, at years that were very impactful in my life, really
Yeah.
influence what I'm trying to make now.
Okay, great. So, how do you? Um, so, are you type of director? Are you are you on the technical side or on the actor side or both? Like some directors, they just they just focus on the actors and let the DP or cinematographer take care of all the technical stuff, lighting, all that stuff. And some they're like very hands on. They know inside out the whole thing. So what type of director are you?
Good question. I like to think I'm both, or at least
Okay.
that's the aim. Like that's the goal. Like once, I'm a work in progress. We all are, but
Yeah.
I would like to be both eventually. I think right now my comfort zone is a little bit towards the technical side
Hmm.
because I it's just I've always been on the crew side, so I understand a little bit better that dynamic. I also
Yeah.
teach at New York Film Academy, and most of my students are cinematography students,
Yeah.
and I learn and I get to direct some films with them and work on projects with them, and I'm really close to my student, and I like working closely with them. And yeah, sometimes we bring actors last minute, and it's people we haven't really had the chance to really connect
Yeah.
with. So that's the thing. But I think as I develop in my career, I think directing actors is so important. And I take a workshop here in New York with Cornelius Organ. He's an actor from the Actor Studio, and he does these workshops near Times Square where he shows how to direct actors and how to talk to actors. And I've been taking a few of those workshops, and we're close friends. So I'm aiming to be better at talking to actors, and I think it's so important. At the end of the day, you don't have a film if you don't have good actors, and acting is very difficult, as we know. I think people don't realize, and I want to be both, I guess, to answer your question. Yeah.
So how do you balance, like every director has their own vision, right? And some argue, they say the film is a collaboration between the teams with different departments. So how do you balance and make sure, because when you see a certain like Scorsese's or Wes Anderson or Tarantino, right away you know that's their signature, right? This is their vision.
Yeah.
You know, it's like this is their brand. So how do you balance all the team, all the departments, and make sure that your vision is there?
Pick your team properly, like people that you communicate well with and that understand your vision. And if you become more and more comfortable with those people, usually you won't even have to talk. They already know what you're looking for. Like you already did all that work before being on set. So that's important. And then it's like really staying true to your vision, but being open, as you said, to everybody's input. And it's a fine line. And when you're on set, you have very little time and everything needs to go fast. So I try to really hear everybody, and then I'll make a decision. And then if people push back after I make my decision, I push back and I said, this is what we're doing. And usually a professional DP or gaffer will accept that, or a professional actor will accept that, as long as there is some rationality and logic and you can explain why you make that decision. But I think it was actually Tarantino that said, the job of a director is to have a vision, is not to make the vision happen. That's the DP, that's the actor. They are the ones actually doing the job. But the director, the whole job is to know very clearly in your head what you're trying to do. So that's a real job, and it takes a lot of prep, and it takes a lot. When I get to a set when I'm not ready yet, and I don't have answers for everything, I realize that I'm not doing my job properly. And it's okay sometimes to say, honestly, for this very particular question, I'm not sure that I care or that I have a clear answer. It's okay once in a while to say that. But for the most part, I think, the idea of a good director is someone who knows clearly what they want and is able to communicate that and being open-minded all at the same time.
So do you storyboard your shots beforehand, or?
What I do, and obviously nowadays with the phones, and I have a camera as well, what I like to do if I have the ability is to pre-shoot everything. Not with the actors most of the time, it will be with stand-ins. And because I'm an editor as well, I will, in a perfect world, I pre-shoot everything and then I edit everything so that I see, oh, this cuts well, cuts well, so that I know. And then, I screen grab and I have everything ready. So when I'm on set, if I, it gets hectic on set. So and time passes really quickly, and it's good to be able to focus on the actors and not still look for the shot. That being said, it really depends on the project. There are projects where you just don't have the ability to do that because you don't have access to the location, or or you just want to be more flexible. Every project is very different.
What was one unexpected challenge you faced when getting started? Or challenges?
I think the biggest challenge that I still face now is to find your people, and because I think, as I said earlier, once you have your team and you work well, hopefully it gets to a point where you're on the same page and you don't have to go back and forth as much. And I have my people, but like sometimes some people are expensive. You can't bring them in that project. Like it's just hard to deal actually with financing and then accessing the people that you work well with. Both those things don't always like work out at the same time. So I think that's the biggest challenge.
Yeah. Okay. So how do you see directing, producing evolving in the next few years?
It's hard to say. Like the film industry, as you know, I'm sure, is changing a lot. A lot. Where are you based, by the way?
Toronto.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my dear partner, Rachel, is from Toronto. We have a production company together called May Production. She's great. But anyway, I think things are changing so fast, and with AI and everything, and the technology, but AI being obviously like the biggest one. Even as an editor, I have to reinvent myself a little bit and keep up. So I think I'm a strong believer in cinema. Again, I just saw a David Lynch film here in Brooklyn, and it was packed house. So I still believe that there will always be audience for that kind of cinema and the going in person and the organically made kind of cinema. But I do think the industry is changing rapidly, and that maybe we need to evolve as well. I just read that they now do microfilms. I don't know if you know about this, like literally like 20 seconds, and it's like doing really well. It's like micro little like soap opera or something. Not that I want to do that, but I'm just saying like it's so interesting how also I have friends and young cousins, and I see how they consume media is very different from how I grew up. Again, like we didn't have phones, and you would go to the cinema. It was a different time. So I think keeping an open mind and try and staying positive at the end of the day. I think having a positive attitude. I'm a strong believer that cinema is not dying, and that the best thing we can do is just to go see films and keep it alive. It might not be as huge as it used to be, but that's okay. Like we'll evolve.
Great. So can you share a moment when you faced an obstacle, significant obstacle, and you overcame it?
Okay, I have one where I'm gonna try to. Okay, so I think for me a big obstacle was that I made a film that I wasn't able to release, a short film, because it just wasn't good, and it's my fault, nobody else's fault. As a director, as I said earlier, I'm a big fan of Mike Lee, and he does a lot of improv, and I was um I think maybe a little bit too sure of myself that I could just have great actors and put them in a situation and have them improv and it would cut well. And it didn't. It just didn't work. I had one camera. I had a great Steadicam operator that actually Steadicam Anora, and he's a great guy. And it looked great, and we had an Ari, and it's just such a waste of my money and other people invested in. Like, I just couldn't release the film because it doesn't work. And again, like I like everybody that I work with on it, and it's sad that I wasn't able to release it, but I think it was a great lesson that things don't always work out, and it made me realize that I need to do a lot more prep. And improvising is, you have to be like Mike Lee does, months and months of work with the actors before, and it's not something, it actually takes a lot of prep to be able to make your actors improvise. And I learned that the hard way, and yeah, I had to let it go. But I mean, I still have the footage, and maybe one day. I just saw the actor, and he's a great actor from Greece, who's quite famous in Greece, Stratos Zozoglou, and he wants to do something with the footage. So maybe one day we'll release it. It can be a fun fact, the film that never got released,
Yeah. Great. How do you stay motivated and inspired, especially during challenging times?
I think challenging times are the most inspiring times. I think it's never been more important to make films, and to talk about our experience.
Mhm.
In this case, in my case, living in America, being from Europe, but also what's happening in Europe as well. I think there's a lot to say. And again,
Mhm.
for me, cinema is all about like opening the window to a life and an experience that you wouldn't directly experience yourself.
Yeah.
And yeah, challenging times are perfect for that, I think. I
Mhm.
think I'm very inspired actually right now with everything that's happening.
Yeah. Great. Let's we're getting close to the end of the show. Let's watch a final clip from your reel, or what are we gonna see or listen to?
We're going to see a clip from a feature film that I produced and that I partly directed. It was a film that was directed by people from around the world, and I made a short film that's within the feature film that I shot in Belgium. And yeah, this is a project that went to a pretty big festival in Europe called Tallinn Black Night Film
Mhm.
Festival.
Yeah.
It was a great experience to be able to show it there and to be invited. And Tallinn was amazing. If anyone wants any recommendations, and yeah, I'm very proud of the film, and yeah, I work with a great director that used to be my professor, Vladan Nikolic, who is now a dear friend, and it was great working with him and collaborating with all these filmmakers from around the world.
Excellent. So let's watch it or listen to it.
Sophia, tu viendrais faire un tour avec moi?
Is there one last thought or piece of advice you'd like to share with our audience or listeners?
I think I would say to anyone who is interested in becoming a filmmaker that they should really just go for it. I think be true to yourself when you make films, and then also hold yourself to your own standards. I think I'm learning to do that now. But when I was younger, I just wanted to make films and I would just jump in and make things that maybe were not. If I watch them now, I would be like, oh, this isn't as good as I wish they were. And I'm and don't be discouraged if you don't get in festivals. It's very difficult right now. It's very saturated. Just hold yourself to your own standards. Make the kind of film you want to see, and you'll find an audience, and also you'll find pleasure and joy in the process of making it, and in all the connections you're gonna build
Mhm.
doing it. And yeah, it's beautiful. Like as I said, cinema has never been more important, and we need more voices.
Great advice. So how can our audience connect with you or learn about your work?
I am on social media. I'm on Instagram at JUDEFFET, And I also have a production company called May Productions. And the Instagram is Film with May, M-A-E, like Mae West. And I also have a website. It's my last name, Deffet, D-E-F-F-E-T, films.com. And yeah, just you can find me on either of those, and I will be happy to connect.
Excellent. Are there any upcoming projects or collaborations you're excited about?
Yes, I'm actually going to Cannes next month, the festival in France, to pitch a few projects and, network and be in Cannes.
Is it first time?
It's my third time going.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pitch a film that I'm collaborating with a dancer, actress, and director named Lena Drake, and she's amazing. And we're making a dance feature film. So it's
Cool.
gonna be a film with a story, a narrative film, but that is told through dance, the universal language of the body language.
Yeah.
And we're very excited about it. We're making a proof of concept video this month, and then we're going to Cannes to pitch it and try to finance it. And I'm also working on 2 other personal films. One that I wrote most of the script, and that is, getting closer to being ready. And that's based on a New York Times article. It takes place here in New York. And the other one I want to make in Belgium, that's like a little bit of a more like epic, bigger film. But I want to start seeing if there's any interest, and just I want to start talking to producers in Europe and see how we can develop that project. Who would you like to thank or acknowledge for supporting you on your journey? Feels like an award show. Like I have to say my mom first. I do want to thank my mom because I do. My mom is the most free-spirited person, and she always gave me the impression that I can do anything. And I do want to thank her, jokes aside. And then, I mean, through your journey in life, and that's true, I'm sure, to everybody, like there are like cheerleaders and people that will like be there for you. And people that I can think of right now is Eric Vertman, who sadly passed away. He was a director that I worked on a film with, and he was just such a good person in my life that helped me move forward. Vlada Nikolic, the director that I just worked with on the feature film. Nick Van Gramp has been extremely supportive of me and my work as well, helped me be a better editor, and many, many more. But those are the ones that I'm thinking of right now. That's great. That's great. We're nearing the end of the show. That's all, folks. Julie Deffet, everyone. Thank you, Julie. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Bye-bye.